If you haven't watched the Warriors game last night and you are a basketball fan, you should, because everything happened on that game. We had records being broken, raining threes, raining field goals. Everyone was playing well. You had Luka Doncic going to a massive triple. Obviously, for Warriors fans like me, you are frustrated with a few things, which we'll discuss today. The Warriors still have a major problem that I hope Dennis Schroder will address. I'm going to show you the highlights of the game while we discuss a little bit more. So take a look. You will see that Dallas was playing really well, and Warriors was since the first half. The Dallas scored 41 points. We were trailing behind. We were trying to catch up, and we made some runs close to 3 points gap, but we couldn't take the lead. And Klay Thompson had a career night, so his second chapter, we can say he won that one. Had his career best as a Dallas Mavericks against the Warriors. He hit one of the daggers towards the end of defense. Needs to show up a little bit more. Look at the box score for the Warriors. Like, we still had some great performance, and that's the sad part. Like, it's a bad story. The Warriors actually broke the record for the franchise in 3 points made. So we had 50% from the 3-point shooting line, 47% field goal percentage. So the Warriors had really good numbers, 133 points. Look at all the games that we lost recently, and we would have won most of them. So it's pretty tough loss to digest at the end. It was a great game, as I said, but the Warriors needs to figure out things. It's getting annoying, the fact that we have all these close games, clutch moments, and then when it's matter, it reminds me like 2 years ago. We make runs, we get super close, and we cannot take the lead because it feels like everyone gets nervous and then they do bad decision. I want to highlight one thing. I'm calling the Warriors right now the enemy of the first quarter. The Warriors, what was the last time that we won a first quarter? Was in November against the Spurs. Since there, we haven't won any of the first quarters, and most of those were actually we have big difference. And it's aligned with all these losses that the Warriors have been facing recently, right? So you can see as the Warriors are always trailing behind, it gets difficult. You have look at the West standings. Let me put on the screen. It's very tight, right? You see, we were there fighting for the first and second position, and now we are in 8. We're already in the play-in zone. We are not in the playoff zone anymore. When we keep sliding, and we are pretty close to the Clippers and Lakers that are right there. So everything is so tight right now. The Warriors needs to figure it out because it's getting dangerous, getting scary. The fact that we cannot just address this problem, and then it comes to what I'll show in a minute. But before that, I want to show the record breaking last night. Both teams combined made 48 points. And that's a lot. That represents the change that the league is facing right now. Obviously, you have on the screen those two massive guys, probably two of the best 3-point shooters of all time. And it represents how much they have changed the game, right? So it's a whole different NBA. And we're going to talk more about that in different videos about the ratings as well. The one thing the Warriors needs to figure out, and I think Dennis Schroder is going to be the solution for that. Let me put on the screen this play and pay attention on Brandon Porzinski.
Possession.
So you see that he's being the primary ball handler, right? And I think that is the problem. When you look to last season, he was a massive player. Like, he was in the rookie team of the year, and he was playing really well. But we had both Stephen Curry and Chris Paul to take the lead. So what I'm seeing here with Pods is every time that you leave for him to handle the offense, he struggles. And that's very problematic for me. I think, like, fans, if you go on Twitter, I'm getting frustrated. Like, I'm really done with Pods right now because I like the guy, and I think he has he can improve and he has skills for that. But it's just like he's hurting the team. So I do want to see Schroder to fit in that starting lineup, but also to take the lead when Stephen Curry is not on the floor, because I think moving Brandon Porzingis to a shooting guard, it will make good for everyone, for the Warriors and for him and for the fans, because it's really annoying. You go on Twitter and you see that play, like, people are saying he should go to the G League, he should be benched. I think you need to give him more space, take the pressure, because he's not handling that right now, and he's young. So he has time to process all of that and improve. You're seeing on the screen the schedule for the Warriors, right? So we played against the Dallas last night, the 14th on Sunday. The 15th. And then we're going to have a 3 days rest. The Warriors are not training today. Steve Kerr said that the team is resting. There's 2 days of practice, and we are expect to see Dennis Schroder starting lineup. Steve Kerr mentioned about it. He said still going to figure it out, but as Stephen Curry said in the press post-conference interview, he doesn't think that it would take time for Schroder to fit in. In one interesting thing, and I like that Draymond Green said that, we are not expecting Dennis Schroder to change his play style and play like the Warriors play. We actually, what we're going to see, it's more options for the Warriors, pick and rolls and those screens. And I think that's going to be interesting. It's going to make good for everyone. So excited for this next game against the Memphis Grizzlies. We will be in Memphis. It's a tough game. The Memphis had up a loss last night for the Lakers, but they are good right now. Jay Moran is back. So it's going to be a tough game, and we know all the rivalry that was created between the Warriors and the Memphis in the recent years. I want to know what you think. If you have watched the game, let your comments there. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me that the main thing the Warriors needs to figure out right now is a solution for the point guard? Then Schroeder should address that, and we need to give more time for pods to develop because it's hurting the team. If you disagree, have any other option, leave in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day. Tomorrow we're going to be back, and we're going to talk about the center position and what the Warriors can make to address that. The trade is open right now. Mike Dunleavy said the Warriors will analyze how Schroeder's fit and what else they need to address, and I think the center is the key element of that. We will discuss that tomorrow.